All right. Very good. Any questions? Any comments? Was it helpful? Did you learn something?
I had a question, yeah.
Go ahead, Parsa.
So for like beginners, like to trading, like for example, me, where I don't have a lot of money to like invest right away, would you say that penny stocks would be good for me to start and like gain experience? And like, because like for me, if I really wanted to make money right now, I'd obviously put like $10 into a stock that's like a tenth of a cent, right? Like you said, but I know like just as easy as it can like skyrocket, it can also plummet just as easy. So like, do you think I should maybe just take it slow and go into like more wonderful companies or like the ones just like how like it was a Warren Buffett quote, I think,
Mhm.
or just do like the penny stocks?
That's a great question. So, I mean, again, one of the biggest appeals for penny stock is that just such a low cost. And you say, oh, you know, $100, 200, so what? The company can go from 200, but still, that's real money, by the way. So the beauty of, what you have right now, you have the partial shares that you can buy. So you could have a portfolio, you can buy 1/10 of Apple, for instance. So it works the same way. The appeal of the penny stock is that volatility, right? The movement. So you're thinking of, I'm going to hit a home run or a lottery. One of the things I would recommend, I mean, before penny stocks, number one, you can do on a simulated, do like a paper. Some of them offer you. I think Webull might do, the good company, but a lot of established companies allow you. Some of them don't do the OTC. It's a little difficult, but some of them allow you to do that. So maybe just get the behavior side of the things, just do without any money involved. And I would encourage that, but not for a long time, because the psychology is different when you don't have the money at risk. So the other thing I would suggest is I would emphasize more on finding the good companies and learn about options, because options allow you to have small capital, but more risk management. And because of that, you could have, let's say you have a $2,000 portfolio, you can follow established companies, or it could be exchange traded funds, or it could be indexes, and just follow few of them, and with their behavior, you can just have a good investment um, as far as success. So penny stocks, unfortunately, because of that volatility, they do not have an established pattern. It's more of a hit and miss. So yes, if you have 100, 200, like I showed you, I mean, it made good money, let's say with that naked thing. It was, you would go in at 10 cents and get out at 30 cents. But we had seen the behavior on that. Eventually just went, it's out of business now. So basically, if you find something like that, yes, be aware of commissions and be aware of this. Sometimes it's spread. So if the volume is not the highest, you still have to pay the ask and bid, and the commissions take into consideration. So a lot of companies, they do charge. As I mentioned, I think Fidelity doesn't charge for the penny stocks, but most other companies do. With options, if you decided to like option strategy, they don't charge majority of time. There's a little exchange fee, but you don't pay a lot. So that might be a better way to understand the options. But you can put some of these strategies to use, as I said, do the paper money. But eventually, I would put, just because you're learning, and there's nothing learning with real money, I would put a small portion of my fund. As I mentioned, I would say 20%, or whether it's Christmas gift or whatever, you were going to buy something silly anyway. I would use it as an education or tuition towards my learning. Is that helpful, Barsa? Does that answer?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. Like every time I think about like buying something like dumb, like that's not gonna be like I'll be like, what if I just like put that money to like a certain stock or something, and just like see where it goes.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but no, thank you. That yeah, that helps.
you're welcome. Any other questions?
Ramin, I just wanted to follow up with a question on that, what Marcel
Yeah.
was asking for younger people, would you recommend just also dollar cost averaging? Like, they probably don't know what that means, but
Well, that's
into good investments.
yes. I think that's when it comes, again, you have the advantage of, time is on your side, so that compounding interest. So
Yeah.
I would, some of the companies actually, they had something called dividend reinvestment plan. So
Right.
let's say you bought Exxon, or you used to have like Disney, McDonald's, you would buy 1 or 2 shares and they would pay, instead of dividends, they would just buy you more shares. And you would be amazed, like 20 years down the road, how much
Absolutely.
shares you have. So I would put it in 2 sides. One side, I think you should be an investor. I've mentioned before, like wealth comes from investing, not trading. So you want to, small amounts. I mean, you can, again, you're so fortunate you can actually buy partial shares now. So, or buy an ETF. I would say buy something in international investments, like a fund which does internationally, just again with no commissions, which is, again, that's another a good definitely incentive to do a little bit every month, just buy like 5 shares or something and doing 5 different ones. What happens, it gives you education as well, because the company keeps you involved, so you can get correspondence. These penny stocks, you can use it as education in a sense. It doesn't work well with the dollar cost averaging for penny stocks. It's more of a, again, that the high you get from that volatility. And as I said, in one day, all of a sudden, I showed you like 50 cents becomes 250. Man, there's no feeling like that. I had one stock I did, I never forget, it was called Caledonia Mining Company. It was a Canadian company, and I bought it at 10 cents and I sold it at 250. It was a great feeling. You feel the company's out of, went bankrupt. It's like, so you just have to know your limit. So it's a great feeling, but it's not sustainable. This should not be your strategy. Although if you go on YouTube, people are swearing, oh, I turned my 500 to $1 million. Okay. Well, that could happen, and I'm not going to, dispute that, but it's very, very rare. I mean, people who have, bought real estate at really low time and things really worked out, yeah, they became multimillionaires, but it's all about timing. So I would recommend, definitely for our younger people, dollar cost averaging is a fantastic way. Find some really good stocks or ETFs and just do a little bit at a time. Buy 1 share or 2 share. It gets you involved with that. Even children should do that. But penny stock, I would just put very limited amount. If you think this class was informative and you think you can apply some of these ideas, and I mix it with other things like, what are the insiders doing? What insiders activity? What are the shorts? People who have shorted the stock, they're pushing it down. Sometimes, GameStop is a good example. For instance, those stock, they could have obviously a big rewards, but it has to be very limited portion of your investment. So, but yeah, I agree with you, Henry. I think just also it makes you a good analyst. You become an investor, you have to really do a little work, but it's definitely a good reward in the long run. And I've always encouraged parents to start like a Roth IRA or IRA, when the teens are working, have something like that, which is fantastic for a dollar cost averaging. You put the money, it grows tax free, and you can also own stocks for a long term. So, yeah.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Yeah. Any other? Go ahead.
Just, I wanted to ask, you mentioned the Z-score. Do you also look at the F-score, or do they basically show the same?
No, I mean, F-score is I like F-score. It definitely shows the health of the company. The Z-score is more about the chances of bankruptcy. So
okay, so
yeah,
it's more of a risk.
Absolutely. It's all, I don't,
measurement.
if the company is like 8 or 9, I mean, I already know it. So it's
Yeah.
just these candidates come out. And I think, Jean-Claude is a subscriber to Guru Focus. So he's been involved with them. It's the companies that they are like at the borderline or something you have doubt. I mentioned Bed Bath and Beyond. If somebody knew that, then they would have avoided the heartache, because some people really got
Right.
excited, got into that. And the old days we had Circuit City, and as I said, it goes on. Sears, I mentioned Kodak, Polaroid, those
Okay.
old days. Yeah,
But I guess it's also unlikely that the company would have a high F score and a low Z score, right? So they usually go hand
yes,
in hand.
generally does, but there's sometimes, again, depending on, they generally follow, but there are times that they might deviate, but not to that extreme that one is going to be like this one 0 and the other one is like 6. So yeah, that's
Okay.
yeah. All right. Any other comments or questions?
Yeah, I was just gonna add that I was actually I was a victim of a pump and dump. But this was back when I didn't know about it. Like I didn't know like the risks. And so when I invested into this like coin, it was like a less than $1 when I bought it. And then it shot up to like $20 per coin. And then I made almost like 250 or something like that, but I was like super greedy, and then I thought, like, if it's gonna shoot up, it's gonna go even higher, right? And then it dropped all the way down to like $5. I still
Yeah.
made like $60, but like it was I like know I like knew now where like if I made way more money than I was supposed to, then I should just get out. But like I feel like if I was just told about it, I wouldn't have known. But since I experienced it, I think I won't make that mistake again.
Absolutely. I mean, we call that tuition, and that's what you just paid the tuition, and that was it lasts because it's experience. So that's awesome. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. That's good.
There's nothing like learning that the stove is hot by getting burned.
Absolutely. That's so true.
I just wanted to mention that about the pump and dump. I think it was like there was a TED talk, I think, by a couple of MIT students that they did a study on like I think they followed the emails,
Oh, okay.
and it was actually a profitable strategy. I don't remember if they were like shorting it after it went up, or buying it and selling it really quick. But they showed it was a profitable strategy for a while. But then those emails stopped because I think there was a crackdown
Yeah.
or something on email schemes.
Well, I
And
tell you,
some
some of the
people actually went to jail, I think.
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, this is I tell you, if you want to watch some really good movies, of course, the Wolves of Wall Street is one, but
Yeah,
Boiler Room, if you ever, and Margin Call, but Boiler Room, that's
that's a
Van
famous.
Diesel, and Ben Affleck. This is like a long time ago, but those are really good movies about these pump and dump penny stocks and how things work behind the closed doors. And those are good movies. So I
So it's
also,
the Boiler Room. Sorry, what was the
yeah, Boiler Room, Margin Call,
Mhm.
and that's Kevin Spacey, and of course, we're Wolves of Wall Street. I mean, these are all very much related to pump and dump. So
Mhm.
those are two of my favorites. And of course, Trading Places, it's 1984. It's about, if you like to learn about futures market, especially orange juice, that's really good movie if you want to see how things work in the pit. So really funny movie too. So, but anyway, yeah, those are my Hollywood recommendations. So anyway, any other questions? I hope it was helpful. And,
Thank you
I
so much.
mean, just a quick question on the volume you were showing, the average
Yes.
volume. That's the average daily volume, right? Or it's not the volume over 3 months, it's just the average daily volume over the 3 months, right?
Yeah, so I use a 50-day average volume. So that line is a 50-day, is one line. But I also look at, as I mentioned, I like to see when I see this relative volume is really moving. I use the 5, could go up to 20. That tells me something is brewing. So
5 day average.
yes, so it's the daily average, and if it's and generally again it's usually the 50-day average. So if it's 5 times the average that we've had, then that means there's really something going on. And again, sometimes they start moving up 5 or 10% initially, then you know now things are kind of moving.
Things happening. Okay.
Yeah. But again, like anything else, it's almost, I mean, like Matt knows, it's like almost like doing futures market. When things really happen, boy, you got to be on it. And that's why I use like 1 minute, because you will see a pattern. And that's what I would use Fibonacci. It really helps me. But if we want to do a class, I mean, we could have a workshop on this, just it would be like the whole day. So I kind of squeezed, I think this probably will be the longest video on a penny stock and any YouTube, but we have so much more to go. But you combine everything else, it starts making sense in that sense. Anyway,
Thanks, Ramin.
of course, you're welcome.
Thank you, Ramajan. It was great. I have one quick question.
Please.
Is there any seasonality involved on this?
Good question. The reason for this is such a wide variety and such a lack of information that it's not really, it doesn't go with the like investors trying to, it's very much under radar anyway. So it's very difficult to find out. And again, because it's such a under, as far as under followed, I have not seen any, not on this. I mean, you can look at, as I mentioned, IWC as a proxy on penny stocks or microcaps to see how they move, but it's not that. It's very much independent, and it's very much depending on how the money flows. So a lot of times you'll be finally seeing, like with small cap moving, the money moves where the biggest bang is, and nowadays obviously in technology and with AI and everything, the money has moved away from these. So majority of these are based on relationship. It's all about looking for investors, and that's one of the things. So the only times are when the times are really good. So this is another tidbit I give you all, you guys, again, based on my experiences. One of the ways things are topping, when you go to these conferences, they give so many free things away. You have such a good food, my God. And when things are hurting, then you see they give you a donut or maybe a water and tea. Then things are not looking good. So at that time, that's a good tidbit that the economy is not in a good shape. The same thing with penny stocks or other things. When there's a lot of invitations, then this is a topping process. And when there are not, then there's a lot of pain, and they're cost cutting. So just a food for thought. I thought to throw that in. Not much related to seasonality, but it's more of an economic sense of things. So I don't know. Is that helpful, Matthew? Is that?
Yeah. Yes, of course. One of the reason I asked that question is on February 2021, which is of your stock was there. I was involved on the penny stock heavily, and I saw like 10 or 12 stocks. They just pumped with together and then dumped at the same time. So like as an example, I just bought the symbol was HMBL. So I bought it as 0.0003 and it went up to the $6.50. So yeah, it was
okay. Don't tell Parsha that. We just told Parsha that thing.
I know it was like crazy. I didn't catch all of it, obviously, but it was crazy. But yeah, at the same time, it was like 9 or 10 other stocks did the same thing. So that's why I said maybe it's a seasonality, but
No, I tell you what it was. If it was February 2021, remember, we just had COVID, big stimulus, everybody's at home. We have the meme stocks, everybody's becoming now expert on options and trading. So free time, lots of money coming in from the government. Okay, let's play the markets. So I think that was one of the reasons. And you saw obviously the growth of Robinhood and Reddit. So I think that might coincide with the timing when, again, that was January, February of 2021. And, we did have a class on this, actually. I think Jean-Claude might remember, and Henry, we just discussing the whole thing, the psychology of it, and what happened exactly a year later, 2022, you see what happened. So, but I think that might be an answer, because now, I don't have a job to go to and I want to make quick buck. Oh, I play options or I play penny stocks, or, all these few big short squeezes. So that might be it, Matthew, more than anything with seasonality.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure. All right. If there's no other questions or comments, I hope, again, you find this helpful. It's something that more than anything else, it's about understanding the things from within, the total understanding, rather than just a surface, a 5-minute YouTube. Okay, I'm hoping you get a better grasp of things. So I hope I succeeded in that. So with that in mind, with our team group, I can't believe this was our 8th workshop. So we got only 2 left. So I hope you guys are learning something, and hopefully it's been helpful. And Jean-Claude, thank you so much staying up so late. It's past midnight for you. So thank you for
Thank you, Ramin.
Appreciate it. So get some good night's sleep, and I'll see everyone on Saturday. Saturday is the final in Champions League. So most likely our class will be at 3:00 rather than 2:00, because priorities. And my friend just sent me the picture of his ticket in Istanbul. So I was hoping I would be there, but anyway, he finally got a ticket. He didn't have a ticket, but he just showed me he got a ticket. So
Nice.
he'll be at the game. So we'll see.
I was gonna say, I've noticed you're still at home, so I guess you.
I am, yeah. So I want to enjoy Saturday. Hopefully, I will be wearing my jersey on Saturday. So
Nice.
at 3:00, I want to hopefully watch the celebration. So
Go City.
yes. All right.
right.
All right, guys. Have a
Bye.
wonderful
Thank you.
rest of your day. Thank you so much, and I'll be talking to you on Saturday. Bye now.
Thank you.
Have a
Bye-bye.
good one.
Thank you,
Bye-bye,
Raman.
everyone.
Bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.